Sorry people, it's not what you think. Toni Gonzaga may have the chemistry with Sam Milby decades ago, while Curtis may have the biology part being Sam Milby's ex-girlfriend. But for sure, both of them have already moved on, as both Toni and Anne are currently blessed with English-speaking husbands, with both marriages having one child at the moment. So, what's this Sam all about then? It's both Toni Gonzaga and Curtis being involved in what we sort of consider as social application marketing, which we can connect to the known brands, Shopee and Lazada. The two of them are the latest ambassadors of each platform, that's it, ha ha ha. But we are not going to compare who is the better representative. We will, as usual, show the predictions that happened for the two of them, which in a way, might also involve these endorsements. Alright, let's now start with Toni Gonzaga. We show the predictions we made on the right part, and highlighted the applicable stuffs that we can relate for the articles or news we found. In this article dated August 14, 2022, it was supposedly a bashing directed to Paul Soriano, the husband of Toni Gonzaga, but since she's there, and is very related to him, thus was also included in the attack. We can relate this with the gossips, rivals, that affects her reputation, as they brand Toni Gonzaga and family as people with no manners, for wearing that cap, while having dinner with their godfather, a male person we predicted to be involved, which is the President of the Philippines. Somehow, this seems to be a petty matter that just trended, likely from their rivals, but it can be a foreshadowing to the next related prediction. And that is about the Shopee brouhaha involving Toni Gonzaga. First, in this October 21, 2022 article, is this comparison between Toni Gonzaga and Curtis. After the announcement of Toni Gonzaga as a Shopee endorser made rounds on the internet, receiving some backlash, the rival platform, Lazada, announced Curtis, who was also a former Shopee ambassador, to be their latest celebrity representative. Gossips about their rivalry then emerged, even dragging their previous common denominator, Sam Milby, with some netizens commenting, as we quote, "What a slap to Toni Gonzaga. Years ago, some Sam Milby chose Curtis over her. Now it comes full circle with her as a new Lazada endorser and Toni being again left in the dust for Shopee. Pangit naman kasi." It was a little negative for Toni Gonzaga, and we can relate this to the gossips, rivals, supporters, that affects her reputation prediction we made at this time. But wait, there's more. On this October 25, 2022 article, it's giving an impression that Toni Gonzaga's Shopee endorsement was such a fail, causing some sales issues, and as a solution, Shopee allegedly replaced Toni Gonzaga in the Shopee app with Jose Marichan. Such a short-lived 2 weeks exposure from the 10/10 sale for Toni Gonzaga. We can relate this to the sort of betrayal involving a senior and male person, which is Jose Marichan, that affected her reputation, as we have predicted. But it's not all bad for Toni Gonzaga, as we can show on this other next prediction. On May 25, 2022, Toni Gonzaga released her cover of Katy Perry's Roar, sort of a celebratory mark for her successful election endorsement, with BBM winning the elections. Filipino social media users then tried to decipher the meaning of the video, viewing the lyrics to be appropriate to her current situation, with comments like, as we quote, "Bah, the shade of it all." Of course, there is Toni Gonzaga, on the June 30, 2022 article, who signaled the commencement of the presidential inauguration with her rendition of the national anthem, which Toni Gonzaga, reportedly, felt humbled to be asked to sing the Philippine national anthem at the event. We can relate these two articles to the good returns, good other bosses relations, and better image prediction we made for this period. Another prediction period is seen, starting on this September 1, 2022 article, where Toni Gonzaga officially signed an exclusive contract with AMBS, with a whopping 500 million pesos worth of talent fee, per the article of Christy Fermin last September 13, 2022. This may relate to the good returns and good connections we predicted. She also had an exclusive interview with Bongbong Marcos, the first since he won the elections, for the pioneer episode of ALL TV's Toni Talks, and we can relate this to the good connection and good social media presence prediction for Toni Gonzaga. We bring back again the Shopee topic for Toni Gonzaga. Shopee trended after netizens criticized it for having Toni as brand ambassador, amid reported laying off of employees in its Philippine branches. If we include the alleged poor sales performance, we can relate this to the unhelpful artists, unable to deliver results, and poor enhancements predictions for her. Toni, on her part, chose to remain grateful and unbothered, and as we quote from her, "Since yesterday we are trending, today we are grateful for our netizens for the mentions and engagements. They are the reasons why we are here today, and this we can relate to the good leadership and competitiveness we predicted for this period." By the way, this reading is for entertainment purposes only, and no guarantee can be given as to the accuracy of the reading. Please always use your own common sense and judgment. Viewers and audience discretion is always advised. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Do also check the description box for the prediction video links that we have published last March 12, 2022, for Toni Gonzaga, and March 13, 2022, for Curtis, so you can verify our predictions. I also don't know how to edit those videos, maybe except for the thumbnail or title, but I'm not techie enough, Hahaha, so the video predictions were also said and done without changes months ago. We now go to Ann Curtis. And really didn't start 2022 with a bang, as she was still on lay-low mode, out from the spotlight. So, we don't have a glimpse of her whatever negative predictions at that time, which is a good move for her. Yet, she remains to be relevant in various magazine articles, consistent with our good experience and better image predictions. She started to sort of make noise when she reached 18 million followers on Instagram around May 24, 2022. She then regained visibility with her return to its Showtime, hosting live after her years of absence. It was followed by her successful Love and live concert last June 11, 2022, with a title that plays on the Filipino word labet, which means fight, a message to fans to pick up from where they left off in this pandemic that changed the world. There was one episode around July 26, 2022, on Showtime that left a mark, involving the banter between Ann Curtis and Vice Ganda, and was supposed to prompt Vice Ganda to proceed to the middle of the two Miss Q&A candidates, but instead made, sort of, an honest play of words, mistake in reading her spiels, and blurted, as translated, "You look ugly," or "Be ugly," to Vice Ganda, with audible cheers of the live audience. Vice Ganda, who usually has a witty response, ended up hilariously taken aback, and was only left to return a physical banter with Ann. That was personally funny, even until now, as we recall that episode. Hehehe. We can attribute this to the being very likable, good showmanship, and desired attention prediction we made. Then, consecutive endorsements were made by Ann Curtis. Starting with Manulife around August 5, 2022, an international financial services provider to help empower Filipinos to achieve their goals through its wide range of insurance solutions for life protection, health and well-being, and financial security. Then there is the Smart Communications endorsement around August 25, 2022, together with Jane De Leon, bringing two Filipino superheroes, Diosa and Darna together, which celebrates the network's Best Mobile Network recognition from Ookla. Around September 1, 2022, Ann Curtis, together with other artists like Piolo Pascual, were seen at the Prime Video Gala premiere of the highly anticipated series, The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. Around October 1, 2022, Ann Curtis was included in the top Instagram earners in the Philippines list, together with Pia Wurtzbach and Catherine Bernardo, among others. Of course, the Lazada endorsement is definitely included, in which she will be leading the 11/11 big sale for the platform. She's also included in the Capamilya Christmas ID roster to show her improved singing abilities with hardcore singers Regine Velasquez and Sarah Geronimo, to name a few. All of these we can relate to the good options, good fame, and many benefactors we predicted for Ann at this time. So, what's next for these two influential ladies? For Toni Gonzaga, she has her incoming MMFF movie, entitled The Teacher, with Joey De Leon for December 2022. If we look at our predictions, Toni may experience a mix of both positive and negative stuffs, but with the potential good connections, good social media presence, and good recognition, Toni can still end up having success for this one. For Ann Curtis, there seems to be no major projects for her ahead. Her recent activity was a time well spent with family in Japan, and this may somehow hint of her, sort of going lie-low again for the rest of the year. Yet, likely, she will still remain relevant in the social media, or who knows, a surprise announcement will just happen. For this year, Toni Gonzaga's big impact is really that being a crucial force in the success of Bongbong Marcos's election win, proving her powerful influence, with outpour of blessings happening after. For Ann Curtis, it was a refreshing starting over again, slowly but surely, yet still very highly anticipated, return in the Philippine industry market, proving her very desirable longevity in the business. And both of these women are included as Statler's 2022 Asia's most influential in the entertainment category. Toni and Ann sure have lots of similarities, sharing some between them. Being sikat all mothers, showing empowerment to the working, yet fresh, mothers out there, and both being stand-up, anticipated muses being looked up to. What's your Sam for these two celebrities? Comment them now, down below.